Good evening, all. Sir, good evening. I hope my voice is audible.
Yeah, hi, Shushmita. Yeah, your voice is audible. Good evening.
Yeah, you can start the session, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Just a minute. I'll share my screen. Let me know if my screen is visible. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible for everyone.
Yeah, yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Today we're going to see something a bit advanced. Okay, so as per the last few days of interaction with some basic writer. So based on that, what today we are going to do, we're going to do some bit advanced, and we're going to see how we can able to identify the vulnerabilities and how we can perform the enumeration and how we can able to exploit based off of the collected informations. Okay, so that all the things we are going to see today and tomorrow and the remaining classes we are going to see completely about the exploitation phase now. Okay, so before getting into the real-time exploitation, so I'll mention some of the few key points. It's key point in the sense, so the point which whatever I'm mentioning going to mention right now, the same point I'm going to use for the remaining classes on today classes as well. Okay, so today I mean I'll there's a first key point is like exploit. So not a exploit, vulnerability. Okay, this is the first key point. Second thing is like exploit. Third thing is like payload. Fourth thing is like post exploit. Okay, so the post exploit, I already explained that what is actually post exploit. But anyhow, I'll give the short introduction about what is post exploit. So remaining, I'll explain because I hope I never say anything about the vulnerability, exploit, payloads, previous classes. So actually, what is the meaning of vulnerability? So if you have a just imagine, don't imagine anything technically. So just we see something basic. Okay. Okay, so we see just something basic. Um, this is a, I mean, instead of system, just consider there is a home. Okay, so this is the home. Okay, so there are doors and windows. Everything's are there. Okay, doors and windows are there. The windows there is a possible of there is it's in three different places. Door and there is a lock. Okay, so there is person trying to um, take some data of Rob. I mean, he's the person planning to take some data from same take some products from this house. Okay, so what he will do first, he will identify which one is the weakest point. Okay, once he know the weakest point, based on the weakest point, he try to break that point, and then he will that person will get into that house, and that person will take whatever the things he need or she need. They can take. Okay, so that is called identifying the weak point is called vulnerability. Okay, so first what this person will do, this person will just check entire house. Okay, so find collect some information. Okay, so based on the information, this person will find found which point is a vulnerable point. Just imagine there is a lock. So okay, so sure, this person can't able to break this. Okay, so then there is a window. Okay, so window easily we can break because there is a glass. I mean, most of the houses are made by the glass, and some houses will not have some what to say blocks or anything in the window. So what if this person found something like that? So then this person will say that okay, this is the vulnerable point. Okay, first point is vulnerable. Okay, so then what the person will do? This person will try to exploit this window. Exploit in the sense with the help of hammer or with the help of some other products, this person will try to break the window to get in. Okay, to break the window to get inside. Okay, so that is called exploit. Okay, so once this person get inside of the home, okay, what this person will do, so this person will take some products, whatever she or she want, they will take entire things and they'll try to get out from that house. Okay, so that is called payload. Payload in the sense will uh, collect some products, or it's like a data, we can say. Okay, so post exploitation in the sense, anyhow, once you break the window, you are get inside the house. Okay, anyhow, there will be a room. Okay, there will be a room, four three rooms or will be there. Okay, even every rooms are locked by that house owner. Okay, so this person don't have the permission to access this all the rooms. Okay, only once he get in, he can access the hall, kitchen, he can go around only on that particular area. If this person want to get inside of the bedroom, because once the person get inside of the rooms, this person have the complete privileges, like if there is a some amount or else jewels kept inside that room, right? So easily that person can able to take that things. Okay, so it means that is called post exploitation. Even though this person get inside of the house, do not have the complete privilege. Okay, so what this person will do, this person will try to break these rooms to get the complete privilege access. Then what happens? So entire house control will be in his in his with this person only. Okay, so then this person can do anything anywhere this person can go. So whatever this person feel to do, they can do that. Okay, so that is called post exploitation. Okay, in imagine in the same way, instead of house, okay, so there is a laptop. Okay, instead of house there is a laptop. Okay, so in this laptop, instead of the log windows, that instead of that we say it as port number. Okay, port number. Okay, so in the previous classes and all, we see that what is port number, what is IP, and what is the usage of the IP, how they will activate that services, that all we see. Okay, so with the help of this port number, what the attacker will do some analysis on the system. Okay, so try to identify the vulnerable. Okay, so if you see that there is a sum of the port, something like 8443, then 81, 82. If there may be any port number. Okay, so the attacker will try to analysis. Okay, and found some of the vulnerable point, weakest point. Okay, so then first once that person found the weakest point, then what the person will do? The person will try to exploit that weakest point. Okay, so each and every weakest point, there is a different types of attacks methodology. We can't use the same methodology for every weakest point. Okay, so okay, so we can't use the same methodology for all the weakest point. Okay, based on that, we'll try to exploit. Then what happened? There is a payload. Okay, so based on that exploit, once we get inside, right, we need that attacker need to collect some data from the system. So what the attacker will do? Attacker will use some payload to collect the information from this system to the attacker PC. Okay, that is called payload. Then post exploitation. Anyhow, once the attacker breach the system, what happened? This attacker will not get the complete access of the system. Anyhow, there is some restriction. Okay, so the attacker will try to break that restriction to get the complete access of the system. So this is how the exploitation model will work. Say in same way, what we do some, we take some of the website. So, okay, I have the server. Okay, so first I will show you that how we can do this all the four steps. Okay, so I'll just launch my Kali Linux, and there is a one of my uh, target machines that will also I will launch in my same system. Just give me a minute. I just now I turned on the both the system. Wait for their time. Both are getting turned on. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is my uh target mission. Okay. So 192.168.29.187. So yesterday also we saw the same system. Okay. So what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm not going to do any Nmap scan as of now because we know that there are some of the website services are running in my target. Okay. Okay, directly what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do access the website and I'll try to analysis the website or is there is any vulnerable point. So whether we can able to exploit that vulnerable point. Okay, so we are going to see that now. Okay, so first what I'm going to do now, first I'll try to access the website whether I can able to access or else is there is any blockages or there. Okay, 168.29.1 29.187. Okay, so 187. Okay, this is my actual site. Okay, so we there is a some of the information is there. Okay, TWK, PHP, my admin, and DVWA. So there is a web DV. So this we have some of the informations here. Okay, so sometimes what happen instead of this page, we'll see some of the basic information like about us, contact details, and what are the service they can able to provide. That basic details we'll see in that applications. Okay, so once we see there is nothing or any sensitive data or this there is no login page, what we do, right? So first we try to find out some of the hidden informations. Okay, because in already we saw that something hidden directories. Okay, in yesterday I show you that what is the meaning of hidden directories. So even if we see something in the web application, whatever we are seeing in this website, that is not the actual information. Okay, even there is a chance of some hidden information like, so whatever the data they are that users, I mean the developers keeping uh, launching in the server, right? So with that information, that with that program data, what developer will do, developer forgot to remove some of the sensitive informations. Okay, so they will keep this all information, even though sensitive, the text file, all the information, what they will do, they will keep it in the same place. So I will show you one more thing. Okay, so mostly what happens, so if there is a, we have different types of web services. One is like Apache, one is NGINX is there. Then we have IIS, Internet Information Service. So that is for Windows. IIS is for Windows. Other where Apache and NGINX will use for the Linux platform. Okay, and we have a Tomcat as well. Okay, there's a one more service called Tomcat. Okay, so now what we are going to do. So I will turn on my Apache service here. Okay, so I'm not going to explain any bit deeper about the Apache service. I'm just going to show where the data will uh, place. I mean related to the web informations. Okay, so the place will be slash var www.html. This is the actual place. Here the data will be. Okay, in the here why I'm using var www.html. Okay, this is a Kali Linux. The Kali Linux is a Debian based operating system. Okay, the same way in this target also they are using the Apache service. Okay, so once now here also I'm using the Apache. So in Apache, I just place the data inside this particular folder. In same model, the developer will paste all the related to web application related data in the same places. Okay, in this server as well. Okay, so whatever the things we are requesting from the browser, we are getting all the information from the same place. Okay, if suppose if the developer keep some of the sensitive information in the same folder, right? Then we can able to access in the website. Okay, but directly we can't able to access. We need to some of the perform some of the additional scan to get that hidden informations. Okay, so for that what we are going to do now, so we are going to use the there is so much of tool to find out the hidden informations. So in this case we are going to use the Ferax Buster. Okay, we can use the Ferax Buster, or else there is a different tools called Go Buster, and there are so many tools are there. Okay, so hyphen u, the after the URL, I'm going to add my URL here. Okay, so just copy, I'm pasting here. Okay, so you can ask me that, okay, how this Ferax Buster tool is working. Okay, how this tool will know that, okay, this for this server, this on all the hidden informations. Okay, so what actually this tool is doing, this tooling is having some of the I mean, some of the, I mean, list of files. Okay, list of data. Okay, if you see here, there is a word list, and it's mentioning the path in user share checklist discovery. There is a text file called raft medium directories dot text. Okay, so I'll just show you this how this file looks like. Okay, just copy sudo su. Okay, so for reading what I'm going to do, I'm use the command called cat. Okay, with the help of cat command, I can read the directory file, text file. Okay, see, there are so many of files, or so many of the files are there. Okay, so you see one, two, three. I mean, there are so much of files will be there. Actually, what this is trying to say, right? So if there is some website, okay, so you know that, okay, CJ, you need to check for the CJ bin, you need to check for the images, you need to check for the admin. What we do will will the manually we need to give the input here, images. So if we are not getting any response for this particular endpoint, right? Then we see, okay, there is no name called images. Then what we do, will go for WP admin. Okay. So if even if you are not getting any information for that particular endpoint, okay, then we say that, okay, the WP admin is not there. So we need to do the analysis one by one. Even if you want to check for the temp file, or else if you want to check for the JS, so you need to type it here /JS. Okay, actually this RAFT medium dot directory list created based out of the developer mindset. So once the developer is developing the application, right? So what and all the name the developer will use, and how the developer will develop that. I mean, based on the different developer knowledge, this list has been created. Okay, instead of doing one by one, okay, instead of getting information one by one, manually entering the input here, what we going to do, we just paste the entire with there is a raft medium directors dot text. In this we have the n number of list. Okay, so we are going to do the automate here. Okay, with the help of this Ferax Buster, once you give the URL, right, what this Ferax Buster will do, this Farag Buster will take the first value. Okay, just imagine there is a first value called CG-bin. Okay, so what this tool will do, it will type the command like CGI-bin. Okay, and check that, okay, whether the CGI-bin is there or not. So with the help of the response code, okay, with the help of response code only, the tool will give you the informations. So if you see in the website, we see some of the graphical interface, and we try to identify, okay, whether this particular file is there or not. Okay, but when we are using the tools like Ferax Buster or Go Buster, DRB, there are so many of tools are there. um, in this case I'm using the Ferax Buster here. Okay, so you can, if you know any other alternate tools same like this, you can use that. So The tool is not a matter here, where this the list of the directory file which we are using, that is the actual things. So even if we use the same tool with the same directory list for the different with the in different tools, we'll get the same result. Okay, only the UIs get changed. Okay, so if you see a Farax Buster, there are some UI and there is some designs, right? Only that designs will get changed. Other than that, nothing will be there. Okay, so we need to understand with the help of response code here. Okay, so once if this CJ bin is there, right, you will get the response code called 200. Okay, if this is not there, then you will get something like 404, or else sometime you will get 500. The response code we have in the different model, one is like 100 scenario, 100 based, another one is like a 200 scenario, another one is 300 scenario, one is 400, then is 500. So each and every scenario, I mean range of 100, right, this will give some information about the website. This will give whether the application is working fine or not. So that information will get from this response code. 200 in the sense redirect. So you redirect in the sense, sometimes what you will do, we'll give just google.com. So imagine that in browser what we do, we just type the google.com. Okay, so if we, I mean, we are not giving anything like HTTPS, HTTP colon www.google.com. We are just giving the name google.com. That's it. But what happening here, automatically it's redirecting to the proper URL like https colon double slash www.google.com. Even if we miss to give the .com, okay, so if we give something a wrong name with the, I mean, GOGL is the actual name. Okay, even if we give something wrong, it will change it to the actual name of the Google and we'll get the result. Okay, that is what all called the redirection. Okay, so if you are giving some site, then why you will give the name of abc.com, but that abc.com, what happened, it will move to the some other site. Okay, so it's called a redirection. Initially, they have they given the name called abc.com. So after that, what they are doing, they are planning to change their organization, their website name, right? But they can't able to use that actual name what they were, because ABC is already familiar and they already reached in the real market. So what they will do, they will just redirect with from ABC to the their current domain name. So the for that and all, we'll get the response of 300. So 400 in the sense error, 500 in the sense server side error. Okay, so based on this, we need to understand the what is the, so we need to understand the success response here. Okay, even what we can do, we can able to see in the browser itself that response code. Okay, so once you will get the Google website, okay, just go to the inspect element. Okay, so here we see that there is options called network. Okay, we see that elements console source, we have options called network. Okay, so just reload this. Okay, you see there are n number of files are there. Okay, these files are relevant to this particular google.com, and you see the status. You see here 200 in the sense this all files are we are getting successfully. Okay, there is no error, we are getting this all file in the successful way. Okay, if suppose if we see something like, see here there is a response called 204. Okay, so 204, I mean 201, 203, 204, each and every in 200, it's a success. Okay, success based response, but in the success itself, there are some variations are there. Okay, so we need to understand the response code, because not only in the Farax Buster analysis, even we are doing some penetration testing activity with the help of Brubshoot, right? So we need to compare the success. I mean, we need to understand the success and failure response with the help of this status code only. The status code only will help you on that. Okay, so we need to get a good idea on this response code. Okay, so even if you go on search in the internet, we'll get some information about the response code. It's not a bit complicated things. It's just like a one word answer. So we just want to understand what is the actual, I mean, information about 100, 200, 300, 400. That's enough. Okay, so we see here. So first one is 400, 403, 301. Okay, so you see that 301 and there is a sum of the URL you see here. Okay, so just what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to copy this. Okay, copy, and I'm going to paste here. See, there are some directory called test output. Okay, so you can ask me that, okay, test is like a successful response, right? We are getting something successful, even why we are getting 301 here. Okay, so it's redirecting to some pages. Okay, so that's why in backend it will redirect to some other pages. We don't know that actually in the front end. So in backend, based on the response, it's redirecting some pages. You see that there are so much of files. Okay, so this is also a type of vulnerable, because see here, so you can see something like a folder here. Okay, the folder you can see here. Once you open the folder, you can see some of the files here. Actually, in this case, we are not getting any information from this file. If suppose if there is a information in this particular file, and even you see that file name is API logging file test. Okay, so we see that with the name itself, we are understand we try we can understand that, okay, so this is a type of file which have the login details. Okay, so even it is a test file, there may be a chance, okay, if they not remove this entire files, there is a chance of data. Okay, because you see that size of the data is 0 because there is no information in this file. If there is a data, sure, we will get some credential to get logged in to the application, we can do something. Okay, see, then we have a page called phpMyAdmin. So we need to read each and every file in this, right? So sometimes what happen, will get all the files or 200. Okay, whatever the data you are getting here, each and every file will give you the response of 200. Okay, the reason is like, so we can't say that, okay, all the files are having I mean all the files are in that target server, or else sometimes what happen, it will give the false information, even though if this file is not in that server, right? So docs or else create release dot sh, if even if this file not in the server, what this Frax Buster or the hidden directory analysis tool will say that, okay, there is a file, and with the help of some informations. Okay, so even though this file not able to identify that, so this is the sensitive file, only give this will give the sensitive file, not like that. Not only the hidden files, some files you can able to see in that directly on the browser, because if you see that php myadmin, we already see in the browser itself. Okay, so even though it's showing here, okay, so not only the hidden, it will give the same information whatever we are seeing in the browser, the same information can be repeated here, but we need to avoid that. Okay, so if the same information is repeating again, just avoid, and we need to do the analysis on the next file. Okay, uh, in this case, if you see there are so much of files, here we need to identify which file is the sensitive data. Okay, so then only we can able to specifically take that file, and we can do the analysis. Otherwise, what happened, right? So whenever you need to open each and every file, and you need to check whether this is giving sensitive details or not. You need to analyze each and everything, and try to avoid the images. Okay, even though there may be a rare chance of getting some information on the images, but mostly will not get any information about the images. So to confirm that, what we can do, we can take any one of the image file and we can cross verify it. So because just we are trying to do the some cross verification whether this having some sensitive details, or else just normal icon files or image files. So if you see here, this is look like a normal icon files. There is no any sensitive data or nothing there. Okay, this is the normal icon. See, anyhow, we need to analyze with the 2 to 3 files, because first file may be a icon file of the web browser. If I do analysis with the 2 or 3 files, then I can able to confirm that. Okay, so whatever, even if you take 10 file, 20 files, we'll get the same images detail. See, we are getting only the images. There is no sensitive information, because why I try to do the analysis of that image file. The reason is like, there might be a chance of some user, what to say, some user code details may be there, anything may be there. Okay, there is a chance. Yeah. Just a minute, I'll share my one more screen. It's not trying to load. Okay, fine. I'll if there's a chance I can show there is a site. I mean, I have one more system. So in that, some images will have some sensitive details, but it's taking time to load. Fine, no problem. Anyhow, I will show you that. Okay, fine. So, to analyze the specific file, what actually we try to do that we try to get some backend informations. Backend information in the sense what programming language they are using, what framework they are using. So, based on that information, we'll get some idea to do the analysis. Because instead of analyzing each and every files, we will get some idea. Okay, with the help of that information we can able to do some analysis there. So okay, so even just make sure that if you see some of the files in the name of mysql or else db events or else odlib. So if you are seeing some files starting in the name of sql or mysql db, try to analysis that. Okay, because if we got that file can be read in the browser, we got a chance to read that file in the browser, then sure there may be a chance of getting some credentials of the database. There is a chance of understanding the backend query of the applications, because once we know how the application will react, in the backend, whenever you're doing the registration, whenever you're doing login, so if you know how the request will go to that database and how it's work, once you read the code easily you can identify that. Based on that we can rewrite the script. Okay, so just disclosing of the source code also will help an attacker to uh, do the attack. Okay, so even though when the developer is trying to developing the application, the developer should make sure that so that PHP text file, coding file should not disclosed anywhere. Okay, file, no problem. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do the some analysis here. So here I know that. So there's a file. Mm, okay, inspect element. I'll go to the inspect element. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we have the network option. Just reload. Okay, so if you see that there are so much of files are getting loaded. So specifically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this particular first one. Okay, the reason is like, so if you see the URL and the first one, the both will get matched. So that's why, because others are the just images file. I don't want that. Okay, so the current web page information which is showing in that network tab, so that I need to analyze, do the analysis. Okay, so why I'm trying to do the analysis, I try to identify what type of programming language they are using, framework. So to analyze that, I'm just trying to access this file, because sometimes what happen in the response code of this particular website, we can able to see what type of programming language they are using. There is a chance of disclosing that information. Okay, but in this case we don't have a chance to see that. Only we see only the server apache 2.2.8 is running. So other informations we call this is general information, the date, keep alive, and content length, content type, that are all the general informations. Okay, so we can't do anything with that. So we need something relevant to the coding or framework related information. Okay, so anyhow, no issue. We have a one more option. Okay, that's called Vaplizer. Okay, so I think Vaplizer not in this Kali system. So I will try to open my Windows Firefox. Okay, so the reason why I'm not I can't able to install that because if I try to install the Weblaser in this Kali browser, it's give me the pop-up like, so you are using outdated Firefox, so need to update to the latest one. Okay, Firefox. Just anyhow, I'll try once again. Sorry, Weblaser extension download. Okay, see, Firefox. So you see that there is a extension here. So add to Firefox. Oh, super. It's get got added. So initially when I tried, right, so it's not allow me to add. So anyway, I don't want to open the Windows Firefox. This is fine. So if you are using the oldest version of Firefox, right, so the Weblaser will not help you on that. Okay, fine. So I'll just reload the page once again, because even if you see in the extension Weblaser, so you'll not get any relevant information there, because so initially when you do the reload, then only you will get some information, and it takes 2 to 3 minutes to collect all the information. Okay, so because just now I installed that. Okay, so I just want to reload this entire application again, website again. Okay, so if I go here, so you see there are four type of information. Okay, even here itself you can see that, okay, four informations are there, 8 or 10. So you can see information details, how many information you are getting here. Okay, so I can't confirm that every time you will get the information about the programming language, web server extension information, where then operating system information. I can't able to confirm that. We can't confirm that because if that target systems user developers and server engineers not properly configured with that, right, then there is a chance. Okay. Okay, then we have a chance to see that files. Okay. Okay, if you go and try with some other layer recently, currently, which one is the topest running site, if you try to see this, you can't able to get these details. Okay, so I here I just confirm that. Okay, PHP 5.2.4 is running there. Okay, so then I'll try to see sensitive files of the PHP file. So if you take the sensitive file of the PHP file, first I need to do the analysis on that. Okay, what are all the files we consider as a sensitive file? Okay, sensitive file in PHP. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll try to do the search on my Chrome, because I don't know why it's taking too long time to load. Sensitive uh, word list. See, sensitive file word list, GitHub. Sensitive file PHP word list. Okay, because we are using the PHP language, right? So we need that specific one. Okay, so these files and all we consider as a sensitive one. Okay, so instead of blindly running that particular endpoint, this directory files, we can go with that, because here, see, you are getting so much of information, right? So we can't able to do the complete analysis. So now I will create one more text file. Okay, so in that, what I am going to do, I'll just copy. Okay, so I'll do PHP file dot text. Okay, so I'll paste here. Sorry, I'm not able to. Yeah, I did that. Save. Okay, so now what I can do now, so using Buster, so Buster will take that particular file, okay, that raft medium directories. So we try to see word list directory. So even if you instead of you are seeing some files relevant to the PHP, I mean PHP instead of PHP, if you are seeing something related to Java or else ASP.NET, you can search that specific word list and you can try to do the analysis and try with that default one. So if you are not getting any relevant file and if you feel that there are so much of informations, then just go with this one. Okay. So GoBuster. I'll show you GoBuster as well. Okay, so in GoBuster you have simple same like that, same like for Buster. What I'm going to do here, just I'm giving dir because the reason is like I need to because in GoBuster you need to give some additional content to do the backend enumeration on that website. So if you use the for Buster, we don't want to add any additional detail. Just you can directly give -u and you can give the URL. But here you need to give some additional information. Okay, so directory you for URL. Actually, this is my URL. Just copy. Okay, paste, and I'm just giving word list. So here my word list will be php file.txt. This already I have created. Okay, so see here now it's got. So now you see that this one is running successfully. And he said that there are so much of files relevant to the PHP. Okay, if you go and see that raft file, you will see only 30,000 related 30,000 data. That's it. Okay, so if you see here 80k plus data are there for the analysis. We need to wait for the time. So until if whether we are getting some information or not. Okay, if you're not getting any information, then we need to find the next different way. So to get that information, just we need to wait for the time. Uh, just now 15,000 data got scanned. Actually, in backend, it's doing manually. Okay, so we feel that it's running by doing some automations here. See, there is a file under the so you can see the size as well. Okay, if you go in Buster, sometimes you can't see the file size, but here you see that file size, how much data will be that file will be. Okay, so with the help of this also you will get some bit additional in bit more information. Okay, because so instead of see there is a 403 and the size will be this much index.php and the content will be this much. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'll take this php info.php file, just copy, and you can run it here. So as we saw the same file yesterday, I just show you on the different website. I think so in the same one I have showed that. Okay, so with here I told you that we'll get so many information about the server. So now what I am going to do, I am specifically going to consider some of the information. So first one is PHP version. Okay, so if you see the PHP version, so 5.2.4, and if you see the server API, CGI is that fast CGI. So CGI in the sense common gateway interface. CGI will help for some, I mean, to help in the backend for the Apache service. Actually, Apache is the web service. In this Apache service, we have a service called CGI. Okay, so what this CGI will do, so when you are running some of the static site, that's not a problem. Apache service is enough to handle that. Okay, so if you go here, so and I'll just turning on my Apache service. Okay, service Apache 2 start. Okay, so what I will do now, I'll if config, so this is my IP, just copy, pasting here. See, for this is the general static site. Static site in the sense only we will have this information. Sometimes we see that only we can able to see about company informations, contact detail, maps. So only we see some of the basic information about the organizations if there is a dynamic site. Okay, like handling payment, and there are so much of things will be in the back end. Okay, so if we see some of the site relevant to that to handle that, so the CGA will be help for the Apache 2 service to handle the dynamic applications. Okay, so we have a CGI and the version 5.4 2.4. Okay, so combination of Apache PHP version and CGA server API, that is a vulnerable. Okay, so if you want to identify that, we can go on search in internet. Okay, so initially I have shown you that VSF TPD 2.3.4 exploit. So just we see that some of the information is revealing when doing in basic nmap scan. So we see that version information of that FTP service. So we just take that FTP service and we just paste it in the internet. We see whether it's having any exploit, because we know that VS of TPD 2.3.4 is the outdated version. The latest will be 3.0.4 3 something else. Okay, so in same way we can say that, okay, instead of doing this, okay, so we as a PHP version 5.2.4 comparing with the CGI. So even you can see some other information as well here. Okay, test. Okay, see here you can see the Apache version here itself, 2.2.8. Apache is 2.2.8 is the running on the target server. Okay, so if I go and search for the current version of the Apache latest version. Okay, so if you see here, okay, if you see the yeah, 2.4.66. So the version which is using on the server is very too old version. Okay, so I'll see how many versions are there in Apache. Okay, so not showing the complete version details. Okay, fine. If you go and search in ChatGPT, right, we'll get something like how many versions are there. Then you can understand how, I mean, how old that version will be. So easily you can understand. Okay, so the four in the four itself, we have so much of versions. Before 2.4, there is a versions called 2.2. Okay, so it's a two old versions. So anyhow, what I'm going to do now, we know that is a two old version, right? So I'll try to find some exploit. Let's see what info what we are getting for that. Okay, where is that? Yeah. So here, so just copy. Okay, exploit. Okay, so when I try to find the exploit for this, you see that there is no direct, there will be a no direct exploit for this particular version. Even if you open, see 2.2.14. Okay, so there is nothing on the specific version. Say 2.2.34. So my version is completely different, which is running in the my on my target, right? That is completely different. So we sometimes will not able to identify the direct exploit for that particular service. So based on, I mean, so we can't able to leave that. Okay, so we are not getting any information. So this service safe, we can't say like that. Okay, so that's why we are doing some deep enumeration and we try to get some additional informations whether we can able to do exploit with that information. Okay, so in that way we got this PHP. So where is that PHP file? Yeah, so 7/php info.php file. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'll just take this PHP version and CGI. Okay, PHP 5.2.4 CGI exploit. Okay, so if you see here, there are so much of info sites relevant to that same versions. Okay, so we can't say that okay, based on this, all the information is not relevant to that version. Once you open, you can able to see. Just read the description. You can see what actual information is here. Okay, so when we run CGI PHP up to version 5.3.12 and 5.4.2 is vulnerable to the to an argument injection vulnerability. Okay, so here properly mentioned version starting from 5.3.12 and 5.4.2. Okay, so I'll just confirm once again what is the actual version 5.2.4. 5.2.4. So in between the 5.2.4 running as a version is well. Mhm. Okay, let's see. We'll try to exploit this. So, okay, for this exploit, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Metasploit here. Okay, so in current days, we are not using Metasploit anywhere, but anyhow, that will also help you to perform the exploit. Okay, so to run the Metasploit here, what I'm doing, MSF console, FNQ. So needs time to load. Okay. Okay, so once got loaded, right? You see that MSF, and you have see some symbol here. Okay, so I'm going to search ARG. What happened? Yeah, it's got hanged. ARG underscore injection. Okay, you see that there are so much of injection methodology. So here I'm going to use um, PHP CG underscore ARG injection. Okay, so PHP underscore CG. So sorry, I can't copy paste. Okay, so use exploit exploit multi HTTP, not a multi. Sorry, exploit multi. Yeah. So we have here HTTP is here. This first one, this one. Okay, HTTP PHP underscore CGI origin injection. Okay, so then I'm just checking for the options here. Okay, so you see that it's asking a hard host, and I need to fill some other. If, just check is there any other detail we need to fill. So only here the in under the required field we have only to fill our host. Okay, so set our host. Okay, so I'll give my target IP 192.168 dot. Just see what is the target IP. 29.187. Okay, 29.187. So now try for the exploit. Okay, fine. So we are not getting that exploit because here I just see that if you see that they're running CGI PHP up to version 5.3.12 and 5.4.2 only is the vulnerable. Okay, so other than that, we are not able to exploit for any other. Okay, so then this is the fine. This one is fine. Okay, so we need to confirm like this, and we need to provide the screenshot of this to the organization. Then only they can able to what to say. Uh, I mean, confirm that okay, this is fine, and they will feel that okay, their organization is safe. Okay, so we need to do the enumeration on each and every point to, and we need to compare that with a next level. Okay, so comparison in the sense, once you got some information with the credential, you need to take compare that credential where you can able to use it. It's like a chain. Okay, so using the okay, there is a credential with username, and you see some in the website there is a username login. Okay, so with the just can't think that okay whether you can able to log in with this username or not. Once you got login successful, then it's your then you can access that application, and from that application you can able to do something. So you need to connect that information, and you need to try for the attacks. Okay, fine. So here we see that. So we see how to do the analysis and how to use the GoBuster, and with the help of GoBuster informations, how you can try for the exploit. So we see everything. So till now, if you guys have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, because next we are going to see bit in a web application level. Okay, fine. I feel that everyone are clear in this topic. So even if you guys have any doubts on the topic, I mean in the same topic or else a upcoming topic or previous topic, you can ask me. So I'll just move on to the next one. I'll just if you guys have any to drop in the chat, I'll just check and I'll reply back. Okay, so now we're going to see about web application attacks. Okay, so in the same web application also we'll do the same formation, like we try to find out the vulnerable point, and we try to exploit, and we do some payload, and we try to get the access of the uh, application launched server. Okay, so that is a one of the case. Even though not only target is like getting the what to say access of the application launched server, so we try to do some of the malicious other type of malicious activity, and we'll try to damage the application. The attacker will try to damage the application or reputations, and they will make the application to crash. There are so much of attacks. Okay, so that attacks maybe create a financial loss. Okay. I mean, the L host and R host is not relevant to the web page. Okay, it's relevant to the target system. So if you see that L host, okay, so it means that you need to give your system IP. I mean, Kali IP. Okay, you need to give the Kali IP. So if you are seeing that R host, right? R host in the sense target system IP. Target IP. The reason, even if you go for any different server type of exploit, right? So you see this L host and R host. The reason is like R host is like a target. Okay. So once this is a Kali. Okay. Okay, Kali. So once you sending some request to the target, and you do something, and you that request is getting collecting some information, right? So after collect, where that information to I mean take that information to this system, right? So over the network, to identify this system, we need the IP. Okay, that's why whenever we are sending some payload with the whenever we are trying to exploit, right, in the exploit itself we are mentioning that, okay, so this is the target system. Okay, we need to perform some exploit. Once the exploit has been done, right, there is a payload section. So even if you see here, okay, I'll open MSF console once again. MSF console -q. You can see that. Okay, so I'll give same. Okay, so search VSF. I'm just taking some other exploit here. VSF TPD 2.3.4. So use exploit Unix FTP VSF TPD 2.3.4 backdoor. And if I give options here, you see here exploits are here. Okay, okay, exploit is here. We need to see the payload as well. Info. Just give me a minute. I'll try for another exploit. Okay. So if you see here, so when I start the before starting this class, I just explained that we have few things like vulnerability, exploit, payload. So the first part is this, all the parts will work for the exploit. Okay. So this is your system, Kali. Okay. So this is the target. Okay. So with the help of this exploit information, we can send that exploit to this target and we can break this target. Okay. Once we break the target, then we have the next thing is to take that data. Once break it into the target, I mean that malicious file have some permission to access this system, right? So with once this all the that malicious file access the system, we need to get that information back to my system. That is called payload. Okay, if you see here in payload, there is a option called lhost. Lhost in the sense, once come successfully exploit the target, so where the data to take it back. Okay, so for that we are giving the payload. In that payload we have the lhost in the sense local host. Once exploit is successful, then the data should come back to this particular local host system. So it means the Kali system. That's why we are giving lhost, and same time we are giving rhost also. Rhost in the sense target, lhost in the sense your system. So in every system you see that. I mean every exploit, not every system, every exploit you will see that lhost and rhost. Okay. So why I'm not able to open anything here? Okay, just give me a minute. I'll just off and turn it off and I'll turn it on again. Okay, so now we don't want the target system because we are going to focus on the web application part now. Oh, sorry, I just turn it on the same system again. Sorry, I need a Kali. Sorry, sorry. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to see about the web application part here. Okay. So in web application security, we have different types of attack methodology. Okay, so anyhow, in this also we go one by one, like information gathering, finding a vulnerability. As I said, we'll try to find the exploit, and we try to inject some malicious payload, try to get the access of the application launched server. Okay, that is the target motive. We can say that. So most of the attackers will try to do the same. So even though if you're working in the organization, not only the motive to get the access of the server, we try to get some. We try to see if there is any sensitive data is getting disclosed, or else if there is any possible way to damage the trust of the application, or else authentication bypass. We'll try to do this different types of scenarios. Okay, if you see in the server side, we have a only motive to do like getting the access of the system. Okay, compromise the server. Okay, when we come into the web application part, so we try to do more than that, and we need to compare, I mean combine the both network penetration testing and web application penetration testing. The reason is like, uh, whenever you are trying to do attacks on the server, right? So there is a there will be I mean there is some use cases. So okay, so if you have some servers, there will be a usage of storing the data. Okay, storing some data, they can use the server for storage purpose. So if there is some other server, there is a chance of running the applications. Application in the sense, we have different types of applications. There is a chance of running web application, there is a chance of running thick client application. So based on their usages, their needs, they will create a server and they will launch the applications, or else they will use it for the storage purpose. Okay, so that's why most of the time, if the server, if we try to do the testing, right, the web application will be there. Most of the time we'll see the web application. Okay, so in web application, we can take it into two different scenario. One is like private, another one is like public. Okay, the reason why I am saying one is private, one is public, sometime, so when you do the testing, I mean penetration testing for that application, right? That application used only for the internal organization, not for the external purpose. So they used only for the internal organizations. Okay, so public in the sense they use for the every public purpose, like banking related application. Even in banking itself, you have a two different types of application model. One is like public application in the sense, mostly the customer can able to use that. Okay, so the normal users, not a customer in the sense, I'm saying about the users. Okay, so the customer can log in and they can see how much balance they have, and if, transaction details, that and also they can able to view with the help of that public applications. If there is a private application, the users may be like, uh, only the employees can be used that, so the employees can able to see other customer details. So based on the usage, that application may be differ. Even we do the testing for both private and public. Okay, so when we do the testing for the private application, the most of the organization will, I mean, try to call that person to their organizations to perform the testing activity, because the reason is like, because that's a private application, right? So only can able to access internally inside that Wi-Fi, or else inside that particular network, only they can able to access. So mostly the organization will try to, organization will ask that person to come into their organizations, and that your security testers should connect in the same Wi-Fi. Then only the security engineer can able to perform the security testing. Until that, they can't able to even reach the applications. Okay, then sometimes there is a few more chances, like not only the internal Wi-Fi users. Okay, so once you are, even though you are in the internal Wi-Fi, you need to connect with some of the server, or else only on the specific VPN you can able to access the data, access that application. There is a chance of uh, like that also. Okay, so public, anyone can able to access from anywhere, we can able to perform the testing. Okay, so that's why we are taking as a internal security testing and external security testing. External in the sense, if there is application in public, we can do the external. Internal in the sense, we need to be a part of that particular Wi-Fi, or else we need to get a login VPN access to access that website. Then only we can able to do that. Okay, so we have two different types of testing, but the test cases will be the same. There is no difference in the test cases, even though if it is a private or if it is a public based application, we use the same test cases. Okay, but the functionality may be differ. Okay, when you are doing the analysis of the private application, there may be a huge modules and there may be huge functionalities because just take the same bank applications. So when we see the bank application of the customer, right, customer side application, we see only the login page simply. So once logged in, they can see the balance, they can see the statement, they can see the loan status, only the few things about the customer sites. Okay, so if it is a public private application, right, there is a chance of accessing all the users' data. Okay, so then there is a chance of viewing the customer balance. There's so much of functionalities like that. Okay, not only being per specific customer, every customer bank details make can able to see by that particular private using by that private applications. Okay, so and there may be roles also, roles in the sense, so there may be a hierarchical key of there is a hierarchical key like employee based. So one is like a normal entry level employee, I mean a trainee, then is a senior, then SME, then there is a chance of manager. So based on the roles, uh, the privilege will get differ. Okay, the same application, so the trainee will have different privilege and senior will have different privilege. SME, TL, manager, everyone have the different sort of privileges. Okay, so if you see here, there are different privileges model. Okay, so if we take like this, there are so much of test cases you need to perform. Then we need to perform each and every tested on the each and every functionalities. So we need to see bit deeper to I mean deeper to do the analysis. Okay, so even if you are using, I mean you are testing for the bank applications. Okay, whatever the industry based applications, we're going to follow the OWASP top 10. Okay, top 10. Some of the organization will ask for SANS 25. There is a one more thing called SANS 25. Okay, some organization will ask for this based out of testing, but nothing is differ. So most of the things are will relevant to the say relevant to, I mean OWSP top 10 and SANS 25 will be relevant. Okay. Okay, most will be relevant. Only the few things will get changed that we need to understand. Okay, once we know understand a good, we have a good understanding on OWSP top 10, that's enough. We can do bit advanced level. Okay, even we can do with the work understand the SANS 25 as well. Okay, so today we're going to see that first attack will be like XSS. Okay, we are going to see the cross scripting attack. With the help of this attack, we can do so much of things, and we are going to see something relevant to. I mean, today we just going to see how to do the XSS attack. Okay, so on tomorrow classes we see how we can do bit more advanced with the help of XSS to bypass the authentications relevant to that. Okay, so and we see how to change that, I mean doing, I mean chain related of attacks, like once you got first information, how you can compare this information, the second analysis, third analysis, fourth analysis, finally we get the access of the server or access of the applications. So we'll see that. So we need something before going to that much deeper, we need to understand what is XSS and what we can do with the XSS, how we can perform the XSS attack. So we need to work on some of the site, then we'll get some basic idea about that. Okay, so XSS is like a cross-site scripting. Okay, so cross-site scripting in the sense we used JavaScript here. Okay, so by, I mean the JavaScript you can able to inject in any of the input fields, user input fields. Okay, so if you see there is a search box. Okay, see, so Well, I'm just taking some of the demo site here now. Okay. So to show that how the accesses will work. Okay, this is oh, there are so much of site, but yeah, actually this is the application. Okay, so you can see here there are some of the input places. You can inject that script here, and we see whether that script is getting executed or not. Okay, so to confirm that, we are going to use the basic script here. Okay, so basic script in the sense we are going to, I mean, we know that, I mean, before uh, performing a cross-site scripting, we need to understand the basic tags of the HTML, and we need to know basics of the JavaScript. Then only we can write the script by our own, and we can able to try to bypass that script. Okay, if something is blocking in the back end, right, we can understand that logic and we can write some of the script to bypass that. Okay, I will show you how to do that. So first we'll do, I am just going to write the basic script. Okay. So, and then I'll explain one by one. So this is the basic script allot one. Okay. Then I'm going to write the script. Okay. So just copy. Okay. So I'm going to paste here. Okay. This is the actual user input field. Okay. So once I click on go, you see there is something getting pop up. Okay. So without this, if I try to reload this page, right? So nothing is happening there. Nothing is there's no pop-up, anything's there. Okay, so it's normally it's get loaded. Okay, once I give some input here, right, once I click on go, then you see some of the pop-up here. The actually the usage of the script is like it will give some pop-up, and it will reflect some input whatever I'm giving in this bracket, right? So open and close bracket, if I give some whatever the input 1 2 3, if I see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, so I can see the same pop-up there. Okay, just copy and I'll paste here. Click on go. See, 129. So we can see the same pop-up. With the help of this, what we can understand that we can understand, okay, our script is properly get executing on that particular input places. It means this application is vulnerable for the cross-site scripting attack. Okay, so directly I injected the script, but before that, we need to find whether this attack may be possible on this input places or not. We need to do so much of thing in the back end. So I'll show you how to do that. First, what we do, right? So once you see some of the input places, first, instead of directly applying this script, we try to see whether our input is getting reflected anywhere on this particular page. Okay, so hello, or else I'll do one thing, I'll give the Superman. Okay, so because this is not common. Okay, any of the Superman name will be the different, and we easily I can able to um, search, and I can able to identify whether the Superman is reflecting on anywhere or not. Okay, so I'll just give and I'll just click on go. If you see here, there is a reflection called Superman. Okay, so reflection in this page is not a problem, fine. So even if you go for Amazon, Flipkart, so different types of sites are there. If we use that same model there, so you will get the reflect. Okay, it will reflect in the space same page, and sometimes there is a chance of reflecting in the view page source as well. So if you click on view page source here, okay, so view page source, you see that. Okay, so if I search Superman, you see it's getting reflected here. Okay, so if I give some JavaScript here, okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just giving the JavaScript, I'm pasting here to go. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'm just right click, view page source, I'm searching for 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. See here, that script also get added in the HTML code. Okay, so it means, so if you whatever the input you are giving on the search field, directly it is placing in some other place in the HTML code. Okay, so we need to understand one more thing. JavaScript can be executed in the HTML page itself. We don't want to create anything separate file called .js, something else. If you want to run the JavaScript in between the HTML code, just open the script tag and you need this close script tag. That's it. So in between whatever the JavaScript you are writing, that directly will get executed in the HTML. We don't want any separate file. Like so, if you want to run PHP, right? So we need the separate file called .php. If you want to run Python file .py. So for JavaScript, we don't want to do like that. Directly, it will get executed in the HTML file itself. Just we need to create a open the script and we need to create close script. That's it. Okay. Okay, fine. So this script will help me. This script is helping me to do some injecting some JavaScript here. The reason why we are specifically injecting JavaScript instead of that, we can inject any other coding language, right? So the reason is like process scripting is the client side attack, not a server side attack. It's a client side attack. Okay. So client side attack in the sense whenever you are giving the input, okay, even if you see, you are creating some. Okay, just see Kali. Okay, so cd/var www.html. Okay, so here have my HTML PHP program file. Okay, so instead of this index.php, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create some HTML program. Okay, or else you can see here itself cat index.php. If you see in top, you see there are some of the HTML codes are there. Okay, in below there are some PHP codes are there. Okay, so in the same file itself, I have two different types of code, HTML and PHP. Okay, PHP is a backend language and HTML is a front end language. Okay, so now we can understand why we are saying HTML is the front end. Okay, so I'll just turn on my Apache service now. Okay, so if you see here, so when I try to open that, okay, if config, okay, this is my IP. Okay, just copy, paste. Okay, so here you see some of the enter value submit. If you go for views page source, right? Okay, only you can able to see the front end language. You can't see any backend code there. Only you can see the front end language here. The reason is like if you try to execute that front end code, right, it will not execute in the back end of your back end in the server. So the complete data, complete code will take it to your browser. Once it's reached your browser, the browser will do the execution. Here only the rendering is happening. Okay, so once the render got successful, we are getting this input here. Okay, actually the compiler is not in the server side, the compiler actually in the browser here. Okay, so the same way if we see for a backend language, right? Okay, so install, I'll do nano index.php. Okay, so now I'll just remove this detail. Okay, just remove this. Before that, I'll show you one more thing. So if I give some input here, right? Hello, Superman. Okay, whatever the input I'm giving here, just click on submit. Nothing is there. Okay, nothing is happening. Okay, I'm just doing some back. I'm removing some commands from the backend language. Okay, so just save. So I'll just service Apache to restart. Okay, I'll do the restart here. Sorry, what happened? Oh, sorry. Okay, so now I'm restarting the Apache 2 server here. Okay, so just reload here, continue. See, whatever the input you are giving here, it's reflecting here. Hello, Superman. Okay, so now I'm giving something relevant to the script here. Script allot one script. Okay, see, the script is also getting pop up here. So JavaScript HTML backend code. Everything's having the different usage here. Okay, everything's are having the different usage. So actually, if you see here, once you give some input here, it's popping up here. So that popping, I mean, the reflection code I just added in the PHP here. See, if you see whatever the input you are giving, okay, that input is taken and reflecting. See, the input will reflect here. So I'm just giving echo input here. So this input I just take it from the user input. So user input. So I have a user input here. Okay, see, this is the actual user input. Okay, so this HTML code is just showing some field and to give some input, and this will execute in the back end and it will reflect in the front end. Just output will reflect. Okay, so you'll not see any code in the browser side, just only it will reflect the output. JavaScript, what it will do, it will JavaScript also work in the browser itself, only from the browser side, not from the server side. Okay, that's why whenever we are giving the input, that input is getting render in the browser and directly working on the browser itself. Okay, it's not do any changes on the server side. Okay, even if you do something like getting pop-up or whatever the script you are adding, that will not add it in the server. And if who are all accessing the site, right, everyone will feel the normal one. So if you want to feel them, I mean the some other target person, if you want to make them to show this same pop-up, right, what you need to do, you need to insert the script. Okay, once you got this pop-up, you need to share this URL to that target persons. Once the target person click this particular URL, then they will feel that pop-up everything. Okay, until that they will not see any pop-up because it's a client side, right? Only it will happen in the browser side. Okay, not only in the input place, we can do in the different places like see here also we can able to inject the same script. Okay, sorry, script a lot one script. Okay, so see here for here also I can able to do that pop-up. So if I share the same, okay, just imagine I'm just copy, I'm sharing to some other person. Okay, so now I'm using this in incognito tab. Just consider this browser is for by some other user. Okay, so I'm just hitting enter. This user will also get the same pop-up. Continue. See, same thing we can able to do it here as well. Okay, so that's called client-side language. Okay, so here we are just using the basic script. We are not using anything like advanced script. So we are not doing any changes here. We are just using the basic one. But the basic one just for practicing to understanding what is cross-site scripting. But this will not help in the real world when you are doing some cross-site scripting attack. This script will not help. There's a chance of usage, but percentage, I mean instead of 100 percentage you will get only chance of 10-15 percentage to run the script. Mostly you need to do some other alternate way like doing some changes on the code level, and you need to analyze with the backend source page where the input is getting reflect and how the input is getting reflect. You need to understand the code and you need to rewrite the script, then only you can able to get that pop-up. Okay, so actually the impact is like here. So instead of getting the pop-up, what we can do, we can hijack the user session value, and we can able to make who are who is trying to access that, right? So if I can able to make the site to redirect to some other malicious site. Okay, so instead of giving normal pop-up, okay, script a lot. Okay, so what I can do, I can just replace with this redirection. Okay, so if I write the code for the redirection, if I share this script to somebody, so if they click that, so it's redirect to the some of the malicious site. So what site name I am giving here, that site may be open on that windows, and if it is a vulnerable virus site, then virus will get infected on their system, and they feel that okay, because of this test php.vulnerablewealth.com, my system got affected. Okay, so you can ask me one more thing. Okay, what is the advantage of this? Okay, what is the benefit of the attacker just redirecting to some of the malicious site? So it that will damage the trust of the applications, trust of the organization. Because so if you if more than 100 200 people are saying because of this site my system got affected by malware, then the next user will not access this site. And even though we also not able will not we also not access this site, because we know that there is some of the malicious attack maybe happen because of this particular site. So we'll avoid to access this. Okay, then this organization may face losses. It may be financial losses, it may be reputations. There's so many of things. Okay, so mostly the final impact will be the finance loss. Anyhow, that finance logs will not the organization will not get directly. So stage by stage, first they will lose the customer, then they lose the orders, then finally they'll face the financial loss. Okay, so if you want to do the modification on the script, right, we need to work on some other site called prom.ml. So there is a site called prom.ml. This site will help us to understand how to write the script. Okay, so even if you will get some of the script, I mean backend code, how the HTML code is there. Because if you take this website, right, so when I give the Superman, okay, Superman, I'm just going to view page source. Okay, so Superman. So I'm just giving, okay. See here, it's the super is popping between the HTML tag. It's like a H tag. Okay, just it's a normal H tag. Okay, so if I give some script in between this, right? So sure, my script will get executed, because there is no additional code to make consider my script has a syntax. If this script is my script is considered as a syntax, right? Then my script will not get execute. And I can't able to make the application to do some backend. I mean, uh, make this application to redirect to some other page, or making do so. I mean, pop upping some value. Okay, that I can't able to do. Okay, so that's why. So we need to understand the code, backend code, how that particular input is uh, getting inside the application, how the input is validating to the application. For that we need to understand the application code here. With the help of the I mean source page, I mean source page itself, we can easily understand that. Because by PHP server side language, if you're writing some script, for that we need to get the data. It's not easy to get that PHP or Python file from the server. It's very hard to get. But for cross scripting, we don't want to do any additional analysis to get the data. Because if whatever the entire site is getting request, right, the entire code will be in the browser only. Okay, easily we can able to get, and we can do the analysis here, and we can understand, and we can write the script here. Okay, so we need to understand the HTML tags here, then only we can write the script. Okay, so the prompt.ml site will help you on the same. Okay, the prompt.ml site will give, just a minute, why it's not getting. Let's search in Google. So in this, what happened, you will see some of the code. Okay, how the input is getting to the application, and where it will store everything you can see in the code. Okay, so you need to analyze, and you need to write the script. You need to change the script. That's it. So based on the script, you will understand how to rewrite the script. Okay, prompt.ml. Where is that? Sorry, it's not there. Okay, so else we can go with some other things, because here we are not getting anything. So we'll see this site as well. See here, you will see there is a input place. Actually, this is the input place, and this is the place how this input place will react once you give hello here. So okay, so click on go. You see that hello is getting popping up here. Okay, so this code will help you to understand how this input will get react. Okay, this is similar to my code. So whatever I showed in my Kali system, right, similar to that same code. So if you give, see here, if you give, this is the input form. Okay, so whatever the input text payload you are giving here, name is a payload. So whatever the payload you are giving, it will popping up here. That's it. Simple thing. There is no additional validation or anything. Okay, so directly we can what we can do, we can directly give script a lot, so we can see the pop-up here. So in the same way, if you go with the different one, right? Okay, so sometimes what happen, see, you even you will not have any input place to access that. Okay, you need to analyze this code and you need to write the script. Okay, so you need to understand this script first of all. So in this place, so in the previous code and this code, you have some difference. So in this, there is only called PHP, and you have the HTML code. Okay, so just understanding of this and this is enough. Okay, but here not like that. So you have the JavaScript here and HTML. Okay, you need to understand this JavaScript. So for that you need what is window dot add event lister, and what is the where what is the meaning of where. So why we are getting hello here. So this, once you understand this script, then you can able to do something. Okay, so same way we'll get in the prom.ml site. So anyhow, I try to load once again. Okay, prom.ml, continue. Okay, yeah, sorry. HTTPS. So once we work on this prom.ml, right, then easily we can able to understand this level of codes and all. This will give you stage by stage. Um, I mean, we go like stage by stage. That's it. I think this is not working. Mm, I'll try to get some other. I'll try to get. Fine. Anyhow, I'll try to get other site for this. okay, to work with prom.ml, but I don't know why it's not loading now. Maybe there is a upgradation will happen in the back end of the site. Okay, fine, no problem. But actually, this is the prom.ml is a site to understand about the web application cross scripting attack. Okay, so if you guys have any doubts on the specific topic, you can ask me. I will explain you how what you can do with this. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So attendance links, so you guys will get in that no, common chat. Okay. So I think everyone are clear in the today topics. So I feel that we are good to go for the today. Uh, yeah. Shushmita, can you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So today we complete the topics for the day. So I think we are good to go. No one having the doubts. So we are good to conclude to for the today class.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah.
As today and like tomorrow and after tomorrow, it's a weekend. We don't have a session. We are again meeting on Monday. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. Good night.